Okay. Case study 0006. 666, the child with Travers Gauntt, musician. After a plane crash where a boy is the only survivor, a childless couple adopts him and soon discovers he is something very powerful, something very dark. This small boy is the Beast, capital B, and with him he carries the beginning of the end. All right. Travers.
Yay. Hey, Tressa.
How are you doing today?
I think I'm doing better.
Yeah. How did this movie affect you?
I'm still contemplating it because I did do it. I double dipped with this movie.
Oh, you watched it twice?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it because it's super awesome? You can say yes.
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to refresh my memory from a week ago because
you couldn't wait to get your hands on it.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to fuddle with the memories of the 20 other quality films I've watched this week.
Oh, I see. You're watching other films. All right.
Yeah, I have a bit of a problem.
Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
So I believe I don't know if I was completely focused on this movie as I was watching it, but I believe it starts off with a plane crash, does it not?
It does.
And somehow there is a small boy walking outside the plane.
What was the number of that flight?
I have no idea, but let me guess. 666.
7666.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're counting backwards, obviously. But they couldn't. They stopped at 6. We'll just call it flight 7654.
They did that in another scene too, where he goes to visit the priest at the old folks home, and his room number was 966.
Yeah, but the thing.
And then she leaves the room, and their room's actual number 666.
It's like I love how they use 666 as an attempted Easter egg in the movie.
Oh, I would have never seen that.
But it's like wow, that's so subtle. No, it's not. But it's satisfying.
Oh, it's so satisfying. I love that in that priest's room, the numbers on the door were obviously like like exterior house numbers.
Yeah.
It looks so weird and wrong.
I was wondering what's wrong with that, and that's like, oh, that's right, because it's just like those numbers are kind of big. They don't look like apartment numbers
or a hotel or a retirement home or
no.
Anyway, so Magic Boy is he's walking out of and
then he just falls.
Yeah, because he was in an airplane crash. So,
but he's walking, and then he's just like stops and goes.
It was bizarre to say the least. And to follow up the bizarreness, the camera crew helps him. I don't think I've ever seen a camera crew help anybody or anything ever in my entire life. But that's because they cared.
Well, they're very special, and speaking of the camera crew, I can remember the buddy's name, but I can never remember the main character's name.
That's what I was just thinking. There's Tony and there's...
Yeah! there's like... the people of Asylum, I think, really liked Reality Bites, or maybe they just ended up with the wardrobe.
Oh my God.
Because the sweater, granted, this is an older movie. I think it was around like 2006 or 2007.
Yeah, it wasn't 1998.
No, but I'm sure that all the wardrobe from, if you're in LA area, I'm just imagining studios got to have like, like in-house garage sales for other,
sure,
like prop houses. And...
I wrote down that the husband looks like he smells like Teen Spirit. I'm sorry, Teen Spirit.
D- Exactly.
He's got that backwards Newsies hat that he never, ever, ever takes off.
Nope.
Man, that guy, I feel bad for him, but he looks awful. I hated his whole aesthetic was gross.
Like the like non-committal beard growing, non-committal facial hair. Like, is that? It's not. No, it doesn't deserve to be called a beard.
He was very. Oh, you know what he was? He was very. What's his name on Godzilla '98 or whatever it was with
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, who was the Simpsons guy who played the camera guy?
Hank Azaria.
Was that his name? Is that him?
Yeah.
I always get those guys confused.
I think.
Yeah.
I haven't watched. I don't think I've.
He had the same like. I got a backwards hat and a cardigan, and I'm ready for business. And I just want to get this shot because that's what's. Shut up. All right, so aside from all that, this little boy is falling down. He gets help, and we find out later, but the newscaster is camera guy's wife.
Yeah.
Which, sexy, I don't know. But she's like, her delivery of that story was so gross and so fake. And like, it seemed like she was trying really hard to prove herself in a small market. And she just seemed like an asshole.
She doesn't come off very good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's kind of a jerk. And speaking of the TV studio, that studio looked like it was where they make hostage videos. It's like, hey, this is the studio where you make hostage videos.
And we have a green screen.
Yeah, everything in there, like you look up again above the walls and it's like, that doesn't look like a real TV studio. That looks like some abandoned warehouse that Asylum uses as a studio, and just like, okay, this is the hallway. Then you see, I swear that hallway is used for like 3 different locations throughout this movie.
I mean, it's a classic hallway. Okay, so now she's like so concerned. She has to go to the hospital to find this orphan boy because she finds out he's an orphan boy, which is weird that she's going to search this kid out. And the weirder part is she goes to the receptionist and she's like, hey, where's this kid at? And the receptionist is like, oh, he's right over there. Like, no, you can't do that. You need like proof that you have some connection to this kid.
Well, she did say recognize her from TV.
Oh, right. And so Fame does that.
Yeah. But then like she was like the nurse is all like, oh, I loved your story. You're so great. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Like she was like, and then the nurse looked really nonplussed, and it was like, like you could have stopped her from going in for being a jerk.
Right, exactly. Or, being a decent human being and not letting some random lady go in to see some orphan. She could have stopped. So then they're back at their apartment or house.
Well, there's an important scene though in the hospital.
Is that when she's walking past a curtain and someone squirts the curtain with a blood water gun?
Man, I missed that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm talking about the hospital workers.
Yeah,
they're that are going for a quickie.
Oh no, that comes later.
Oh, that comes later.
Oh, I would never forget that, Travers.
Okay.
How dare you? No, so first...
Oh, man, you're right, because I'm looking at the... Yeah.
Yeah, no, first they go home and they talk about how much this little boy is just meant for them.
Yeah, because they can't have kids.
Gross. Like, their whole vibe is just gross. Except for the fact that he was like, hey, let's get high and watch Charlie Brown. And you know what? That sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, and he was... I liked how he was rolling a joint over a shoebox lid.
He's keeping it real.
Business.
Yeah. He's probably got a shoebox full of all kinds of drugs. Pills, old ecstasy from 1999.
Oh, hell yeah. This is still good.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I'm waiting for the Orb reunion.
Exactly. Then we get to the horny nurses and doctors, or nurse and doctor. Because doctors and nurses are always horny for each other.
Yeah, I've watched ER, Grey's Anatomy, those shows. It's like
I know, they're your favorites.
Yes.
And so then the kid turns into an incel and doesn't like sex. So he telepathically, what's the word? Not telepathically.
Kinesis? Telekinetic?
Telekinetically, thank you. Murders medical staff.
But what are they doing? I was trying to figure this layout out. Where they like, because they're in some supply closet and you can see like the panels of the ceiling are falling.
Bro, that room was weird and I couldn't figure
There's
it out.
like old wheelchairs in there.
It was like a janitor's closet with plus.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
like a bunch of
weird.
broken hospital supplies or something. It seemed like something that would have been, it looked like it would have been a closet at the Jazz Record Mart when I went there. Full of just weird, here's weird shit, and the owner wouldn't let us get rid of anything, so we couldn't just throw it out.
Do you know how expensive that stuff is? You can't just throw it out. You might fix it someday. Maybe you could sell it at a garage sale. The hospital garage sale that happens once a year.
But we're not going to do that because I might hurt myself and I might need that wheelchair.
And that's how plumbing ends up stabbing you through the back of the head or whatever happens.
That was a sweet kill.
Man, there are some sweet, awesome kills in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even into this genre of horror, and I was into it. It was very imaginative, and I was down for it. It was great.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the original Omen. And this obviously came out to tie in with the really boring remake.
Oh, I forgot they did that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've watched the remake, and it's like one of the most pointlessly made movies,
Right.
up there with Gus Van Sant's Psycho.
Oh, with Vince Vaughn.
Oh God, and Anne Hesh, they're both so terrible in it because he just used the
Weird.
same script and tried to be shot for shot. So it kind of felt, the Omen remake felt like that. It was just like, why did they make this? This is just, you can't.
Oh, I'll tell you why.
as cool.
Because in the remake of Psycho, they let Vince Vaughn masturbate as he looked at her when she was showering.
Oh,
That's why. That's the only reason. They needed a masturbation scene.
And I knew one reason is that, Gus Van Sant's reasoning was because it was in color.
That's a stupid ass reason. You can't use chocolate syrup for blood if it's in color. Anyway.
But yeah, so I thought this is much better than much more enjoyable than the Omen remake, which was, a studio well-made movie that was just shouldn't have been made.
Right. But we also get a nice little, is this like a reference? Is this a nudge that the Damien character was named fucking Donald after a duck, after a fucking, I don't know of any more Donalds, after a fucking failed president?
But it was made but see, this is where it was prescient because, I mean, the evil kid acts like Donald Trump and his name is Donald. And it's like, someone here is onto something.
Andy was like, when was this made? Because was this like a wink about the president? And I was like, no, this is 2006. This is a good 10 years before.
Yeah. Someone there knows something.
So, let's just say that it was foretelling. What's the word I'm looking for?
Prescient.
Thank you.
That's the fancy word.
That's what I was going to say, but it sounded wrong in my head.
It always sounds wrong. I just say it when I know. I'm just assuming I'm saying it wrong.
That's like me with most words, so I get it. All right, so so we find out the wife's sister is fake Martha Stewart.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. We get to know that knowledge, and then she pulls some strings, and we hear nothing about her ever again until the end. Which was kind of a letdown, but I wanted to see some evil Martha Stewart shit.
Yeah.
Not that I think Martha Stewart is evil, but I want to see that.
Yeah, some but maybe the sequel has more Martha Stewart.
That is a good point. I really want to see that now
Totally.
because he's all grown up and everything. Okay, so now she pulled her strings and got them an interview with the priest at the orphanage. Like, do these even exist anymore? That, like, it seems so weird and like a cliche. I don't know. But his office looked like a club. It was like lit up in like reds and greens and purples.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's not stained glass. It doesn't even look remotely like stained glass. You're just like lighting it fun, which I appreciate it. But come on. And since when are priests the ones that are the sole caretakers for children? That should not be a thing in this day and age.
No. And also like that business where he was like, it's like, you travel too much. Like, you can't. It's like you photograph war zones or whatever. You shouldn't be able to have kids.
Right. My profession is known to diddle children, but that's fine. I don't travel.
that's yeah. But yeah, that priest was just he was a real jerk. He was just like, I hate you TV people, but your sister's Martha Stewart, so I have to let you have the kid. That's basically what it came down to.
And then he mentioned Celine Dion, like, oh, if your sister was Celine Dion, oh boy. Like, why mention? It was just weird. It was like, yeah, Martha Stewart and Celine Dion, they get my rocks off those ladies. Super hot. And then I wrote, I learned a lot about the adoption process today.
Because, there's nothing like a low budget horror movie to learn how the world works.
Right.
And that's probably why I fail so many times, because I actually, it's like, well, that worked in that movie.
It should be fine here. I don't know what the problem is. So it's the next day. Oh, no, I guess it's the same day. They bring the kid home like he's a new puppy.
Yeah, it's just like he just basically gives them the kid.
Yeah,
like, on the spot.
yeah.
Like, oh, here the nun's gonna give you the kid.
Your sister's Martha Stewart. It's fine. And then they come home and they're all like, it's what? They're like a happy family, like off the hook, like off the hook. Off the bat, they're just like, okay, mom and dad, you can call us mom and dad. Okay, mom and dad, son, it's great, blah, blah, blah. It weirded me the fuck out. Not because he's like weird and satanic, but because the parents are just like, this is our role now. And this is like, there was no adjustment period whatsoever.
No, they like, and it's a vibe that runs through asylum films, like especially in like in Independence Day, the same kind of like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Like no one's processing anything. No one's like going like, whoa, this is some freaky stuff that's happening.
We should go through a montage to get through this and then do it. But no montage. Just get at it.
And then that's also when they introduced the father-in-law. Or the dude's dad.
Yeah.
Who's living in the guest house.
Who I thought was like a weird old famous guy, but was not. He's been in like 2 movies and they were probably asylum movies. I don't know. But I loved Dad. I love Grandpa. He was the best. He was great. Like a real grandpa who's like, I'm an old racist. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's like, we're going to go play ball because that's what you do with the kid. You play ball with the kid.
At least if it's a boy.
Yeah.
And then Dad's driving away to work or whatever, and he sees a gross nun on the sidewalk. Because she was a gross nun.
No, she was a weird, gross-looking nun. Like,
she
what was up with her?
Looked like she'd been rolling around in dirt and like stood up and was just like, "Sup, bruh? Sup?"
I know. At first, I thought it was like, oh, is she like is she like a satanic nun? Because there's always a few satanic nuns,
right? And with movies like this, it's like you don't know who's like the righteous good person or the righteous good person that's actually evil, or the good righteous person that's evil but actually good, but she does evil shit to justify God, I don't know. These things are complicated.
They are.
But this one's not complicated.
No, it's just, she's just like, oh, he's evil.
Yeah, she's just like, nah, this is what's going on. You gotta, come on, kill the kid. Which, yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. Okay, so Grandpa's playing with Donald. I hate Donald's name so much. Ugh, Donald. And he like throws a baseball as hard as he can at this kid, and it lands right in his mouth. So they go to the dentist, and this is very exciting.
What's up with
me.
that dentist, man?
I will tell you exactly what's up with this dentist. I was very excited when I saw this.
That's even in my notes. What's up with that dentist?
Because I was looking at IMDb as I was watching that part, and I saw one guy in the cast, and I was like, Dr. Loring, who's that? And then they're like, oh, hello, Dr. Loring. I was like, oh. And then I looked back at IMDb. Okay, this is very exciting for me. He is a clean-shaven, not Mickey Rourke from Aquarium of the Dead. Now, if you've not seen Aquarium of the Dead, which we just covered 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever, it is a zombies world offshoot, and it had the like creepiest, grossest character who was like, he had like blonde streaks in his hair like Mickey Rourke in that one Iron Man movie, and he was like, I'm pretty funny because I'm pretty sexist, so that's pretty funny. And I tagged him, not Mickey Rourke. And that's who it was, but he was totally clean shaven and had short hair, and he was still a total douchebag.
He was such a douchebag.
Oh, I even hate saying douchebag, but it fits.
Oh no, that guy was textbook.
Oh, and at the same time, I had IMDb up, and I saw Donald, and I wanted to see what his career has gone to since this is 2006. His name is Boo Boo, by the way.
That's because I was watching the credits, and I'm like, who the fuck is Boo Boo?
Yeah, thank you. That's his stage name because it's super cool. But he was in the Twilight movies. Yeah.
He got some good gigs.
Yeah, he did some great stuff. Paying stuff.
Because man.
Yeah. Oh, and I almost forgot about what happened to Dr. Loring. Yeah, that's his name, Dr. Loring. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's so good. So he was like, okay, Grandpa, why don't you go outside? We'll just take care of
that
this.
part, yeah.
Yeah. And they get the drill out immediately. Instead of like taking a look or anything, they just immediately grab the drill, and it goes into both the hygienist eyeball and his eyeball.
That's right.
But the police said it was an accident, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, that was weird. I totally, that's one kill I totally forgot.
Yeah, I did too. I just noticed it in my notes. I was like, oh shit. And it was like another one of those beautiful blood splatter.
They got some good splatters.
They did. It was gorgeous. Every single kill has like not only beautiful blood splatter in the moment, but then you get a shot of like behind it or to the side of it with more blood splatter.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Okay. So Donald's kind of pissed about this whole baseball thing.
Yeah, he was really upset about that.
I mean, can you blame him? He almost got all his teeth knocked out by his fucking granddad. That was just rude. Like, he was going too far.
Hey, he was trying to show him what a pop fly was, but he just happened to pop his face instead.
Mm-hmm. Well, regardless, he got his throat slit by a ceiling fan.
Which, as soon as it's, they start talking about him, the ceiling fan was like that was a point of contention in the family because he kept asking for his damn ceiling fan, and so dude, like, Dad, I'm doing the ceiling fan for you, and he got his ceiling fan.
It was like Chekhov's ceiling fan.
in the neck.
Man, I'm so glad I got to say that. Okay, next morning, I don't think anyone knows what happened yet, and Donald is making himself some breakfast, and Dad is like, "What are you doing? Making your breakfast? I don't even know how to make my breakfast." And you know why? Because he's a white man that weaponizes his ignorance. Just like all those other sweater wearing, backwards hat wearing. I'm done.
Well, isn't that also the nanny conveniently shows up right after, they haven't even mopped up the blood, and she's staying in his room.
I know. She's like, no, it's fine, whatever. I used to be in the punk scene. It's cool.
Yeah, she was like, it was like art school and punk scene. It's like, oh, she's evil. That means she's evil.
Yeah.
And she's wearing black, of course.
Of course. There's one scene where they show her wrist and she has a little tiny tattoo, and I was like, oh, she's evil.
She's got some ink.
Yeah, evil. But before the nanny shows up, the cop is talking to a husband whose name I don't remember still. And they're talking blah, blah, blah. And the cop was telling the cop is like, there's no need for that kind of language. Because the guy's dad just died. And he's like, I don't know what fucking happened. And he gets lectured about swearing. That, like, what cop would do that? That's so crazy.
I know, they're cops.
Right.
They have the worst mouths of anyone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Policing language, that's not their job.
Is the famous sister going to visit at some point? No, she's not.
You think she'd have to like come in and like power gloat over them getting the kid at some point, There's got
Yes, absolutely.
like
And
what are you gonna
shame
do for
them.
me now?
Exactly. That's what she should have been doing the whole time. But no, she didn't even show up. Gross nun. His father wasn't. Is that when the nun shows up and is like, this is only the first of all the deaths or whatever, and it's not.
Yeah, I think she shows up like right after the dad. As he's just like cruising around.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I don't think Lucy was there yet. Or if she was in the other room. Did I not? I don't know why, but Donald says, I like fires. A duh, kid. A duh. The nun got plowed down by a car. That's right. It is after she visited and crept into their house, because she gets plowed the fuck down in an alley, and it was gorgeous. That was another really great blood splatter on street signs.
Yes.
Oh my god, it was so good. Oh, I love it. Oh, chef's kiss is what I wrote. I agree with whatever the husband name is. Scotty. His name is Scotty.
Wait, it was Scotty?
That's what I have.
I'm just like trying to remember if his name is even mentioned.
I know. I think it's at least mentioned once.
Yeah.
But then him and Tony are talking about.
Well, Tony's perving out on the nanny.
I mean that's Tony for you. I mean, come on.
He's Tony.
He's Tony. But he's talking about how his nephew has Caligula on his PSP or something.
Like what?
First off, what?
There's a Caligula game?
I think that he has the movie on his game system, but also, why that movie of all like the weird, gross sex stuff you could have on his thing? He picks Caligula? What is... It's so confusing and kind of great. He's into like older...
He's into art porn.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Kids. They love it.
Yeah.
So Lucy comes around. And he opens the door for Lucy, the new nanny. And this is so not important, but it made me giggle. Like, she's talking in the doorway, and like behind her, you can tell it is so blatantly a green screen of a street. It's so not important, but it made me laugh. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then so Lucy's like, oh, Donald, let me see your drawings. and he shows her his drawings, and she's like, "No, the real ones." But we don't get to see them.
We tell.
Yeah, we do later, but not then. So we don't know what we're in for.
No.
But I wanted to see those drawings because his like other drawings were pretty good for his age. But when they finally show the ones that we weren't supposed to see, they were kind of shitty.
They were bad.
They were art director trying to draw like a child. Bad.
Exactly. That's pretty much. I just think someone just like, oh, we need some drawings. Can it's like, you got a kid. You know what kid art looks like, right? Yeah, go ahead. Like, give me some.
I've got a nephew. It's fine. I know what they do. and then okay, so he's like, this is when he tells Lucy that she can have his dad's nasty room. They did not have enough time to hazmat that place and get it all nasty blood. There's got to be gross is all I'm saying. Is gross. It's not even been a full day since that happened.
She's evil, so she probably liked the blood.
And she was in the punk scene, so she's used to it.
Yeah, you
know. So he's gonna have a heart-to-heart with his son. And he's like, so, you got beat up a lot? That sucks. And then he just like, the way he said it, he was like, yeah, bro, that sucks. And then he was like, what happened to those nuns that hurt you? And he was like, oh, they got burned. And he's like, how did they get burned? I don't know, fire? It's like, oh, boy.
So yeah, that should have set some red flags, which I guess it eventually did.
Yeah, once everything and everybody was dead. Anyway, so he's going to bring, or I don't remember why he's walking around, but he goes and passes by the pool house or whatever it is where Lucy's staying, and she's all like getting dressed slowly, and instead of being like, "Oop, shouldn't be looking at this," and keep walking, he stands there and watches and waits for her to turn around so he can see some titties. And she just like looks at him and smiles and like, oh, I'm gonna close this shade very slowly. Okay. Gross.
He just stood there.
He just fucking stood there. He could have been like, oh, I didn't realize she was getting undressed, but I do now, so I'm going to leave and avert my eyes. He could have been like, oh, she is undressed. Oh my, I should avert my eyes and keep walking. He could have been like, oh no, boobies, I need to leave this situation. But no, he just sat there and stared, and he deserves everything that came to him.
And then when she's looking back at him, he still just stares. Mm-hmm. After she catches him. He's just
and like, not in like a weird flirty way, but in like, duh. Like there was just nothing. There was no emotion.
He's like, I'm just staring. I don't even know if it turns me on. I'm just staring. Which almost makes it creepier.
Yes. I'm just checking out the windows, making sure they're secure. It's fine. Oh, you're naked? I had no idea. And then he calls his wife and he's like, I was just thinking of you because I saw titties. I mean, that's not what he says, but that's what he was thinking. Oh, yeah. So the next day, Lucy and Tony and Donald are going to go have a picnic, and they're going to go see Party Poopers 2.
Now, is that a real movie?
Do you think that's a real movie? Because I really don't think that's a real movie.
Asylum could be plugging one of their movies, because that sounds like an Asylum like frat party movie.
No, it'd be a Talking Babies movie where they party. It'd be like Home Alone, but with babies in a frat house.
That sounds like the worst. You just came up with the worst movie ever. And now it's going to get made.
Yep, you're welcome.
Wow. Because also I think about the movies that I think I hate the most might be Boss Baby movies.
Oh, I won't see them, so I can't tell you.
Oh, no, I won't watch them, but I know how much I hate them from the trailers.
Smart ass babies. Know your place, you stupid idiots.
Your fucking baby. And no, I don't want to hear Alec Baldwin's voice. And no, you're gonna do the sunglasses, really? The fucking sunglasses. It makes me want to burn sunglasses. I don't wear my sunglasses at night enough because of stupid movie sunglass
Babies.
bullshit. And babies.
To be fair, I don't want to hear Alec Baldwin's voice ever. So when it's in a baby movie, it's even worse.
Yeah. So it's like, because the thing is, just seeing a trailer, knowing that it exists, it's like my brain already downloads all the hack scripts that are written for that. And it's just like, I know exactly like about 3 possible movies that it's going to be, and they all are awful.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went and made like who knows how many of those things.
I really want to see Party Poopers now.
Yes.
Not the second one, though.
Well, then that's when they're getting ready. She's this part really cracked me up. Because she's making sandwiches.
Yeah.
And he goes into the room to look for the Frisbee.
Yep.
And then he finds the real drawings.
Because it falls from behind the map. It just happens to fall.
Yes. And we got to talk about those drawings, man.
Yeah, we could spend like an hour on those fucking drawings.
Oh no, I even had to write what was in the drawings.
Oh, yes, so did I. Let's read off what they said before we explain what's in them. There were 4.
Yes.
First ones. Oh, well, okay.
Over a picture of a bad drawing of a nun.
No.
I wasn't a nun.
The first one is a guy with he's either vomiting blood or his throat has been slashed and there's blood pouring. And it just says, fuck face. The next one says in your face, but I don't remember what that was. I don't remember what that picture was.
Oh, that was the one with the I believe it was the fan.
Oh,
the grandfather.
It's in your face. I get it. Next one, I did not get it all, and I could not make out what the drawing was. There was a lot going on, lots of blood spray, and it just said, "Eat shit, penguin."
Yes, I got you. You left out the first one. I thought was whore.
Oh, I must have missed horror.
Yeah, no, I paused.
That's probably the nun one that I didn't see.
Yeah, but there's also a nun one I forgot until I just looked was penguin.
Oh, I get it. Penguin. I thought he was talking about a literal penguin.
No.
Okay. That's not as funny.
Shit, penguin. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. And then the last one, I couldn't make out what the drawing was at all, but I just said die cocksucker.
Oh, okay. I wrote it down wrong. Cause because I thought it was die fuck face, but no, it was die cocksucker. Fuck face was like the first one.
Interchangeable.
Yeah. I was one of my parents' favorite curse words is fuck face. So that always
it's a really good
brings
one.
warm fuzzies to me, you know.
Okay, my biggest problem with this scene is that Tony was terrified by this and not laughing his ass off because it's fucking Tony. If that was Tony in IRL, he would be like, "Oh shit, this is fucking hilarious!
This kid, I love this kid.
This kid is great. Look at these nuns all bloody. This is hilarious."
I was writing something to that. It's like, why is he terrified by these drawings? It's like, this is like pretty normal kid shit. It's like, I'm pissed off.
If this were real Tony and not some body snatcher Tony, he would have taken those drawings into the other room and shown Lucy and be like, "Check this shit out. This is so funny." And then Lucy been like, "Oh yeah, high five." And they would have gotten together and been evil together.
That's like he wanted Lucy. So it's
yes, exactly.
It just didn't make sense that he was so, I couldn't believe it was like, you're sweating and terrified because kid wrote dirty words over bloody pictures. Yeah. Like, I don't know, that kid's pretty, I'd be all like, give this kid a beer and we're gonna listen to some Motorhead.
I guarantee you Tony did worse at that age.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that he did wish that he had done shit worse than that at his age.
Yeah, because that was, I was really disappointed in the tonester at that, I'm like, and then when he comes shaken from the room,
I don't know if I can do a picnic, but I'm still for party poopers, but I don't think I can do a picnic anymore.
but he's all like, wow. She's like, I already made sandwiches, and it wasn't just a couple of sandwiches. There was a fucking Subway party platter tray. It was like, wait, did she get like the Papa John's basket or something?
They're freaky fast. Or no, that's Jimmy John's. She got the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery while he was looking at those drawings is what happened.
Yeah.
Because that was like a full party that was like a 10-foot sub.
There was like 20 freaking sandwiches. Like 3 people going on a picnic. It's like,
who's eating all those sandwiches?
Are feeding them to the pigeons? I'm not wasting roast beef on a pigeon.
Hell no, that's expensive shit. Oh God, I love Lucy. Oh, that's the name of his show too.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so he goes, Scotty or whatever. He goes to see the old priest. I don't know if I was like spaced out at this point or if there was truly nothing happening in that scene.
Oh no, there's some cool stuff in that. He goes into the rest home.
Uh-huh.
And he asks, why isn't there any music playing?
That was great. Oh, they ended up throwing shit and banging their heads up against the wall. The usual.
That's what she said. It was like, I'm just saying, and this is also brings me back to the hallway of the TV studio.
Yes.
And the hospital.
Yes.
It's all the same hallway. Because in that hallway,
guarantee it is.
They just had that wheelchair. It was just there's all that when they went to that rest home or care facility, there's just stuff scattered about. Like,
yeah, that place had been closed for decades. It's a ghost nurse and a ghost priest. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's like broken wheelchair, maybe a crutch lying around, some garbage on the floor.
A crotch or a crutch?
A crutch?
A crotch? No, I'm just sorry. Anyway, yeah, that was beautiful. And also, I guess I haven't been to a lot of nursing homes, but do they play music everywhere in a nursing home? Is that like a question that needed to be asked?
I don't believe so, because I took a tour of several at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And no, like especially like hospice care.
Yeah.
I went to facilities. I went to a more medical facility like that one wanted you to think it is.
Right.
And no, it was just depressing. There was no music. It was like soul crushing.
She was like, no one could agree on the music. So what were they playing that made them throw their shit and bang their heads up against the wall? Was it all just like Garth Brooks and
Pat Boone,
Chris Gaines?
Oh man.
I said the same thing twice.
See, I want to think it was more like growing up, we had a station called Sunny 910.
I hate the name already.
Exactly what you think it is, where it's all like Doris Day, Frank Sinatra. I want to believe that that's what they were playing.
Oh, I could get down with some Doris Day
and
Frank Sinatra.
Oh no, you would have loved it, especially like Christmas time. Sunny 910 is like,
that sounds amazing.
It's all like 50s pop.
I mean, yeah.
Like, not meaning not rock and roll at all.
Right. I don't want to hear any doo-wop or any of that bullshit.
No, it's all like
Sha-na-na, just kidding.
Thrift store. It's like thrift store records.
No. Oh, okay, records. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like soundtracks that they play, because that's all K-pop and like new country. What are they playing in the Village now? It's so bad.
Oh, at the thrift store?
Yeah.
I haven't been there for a while. It's on my it's the season, so I have to.
Yeah.
I was gonna go today, but I didn't make it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'll make it again. Luckily I have a Salvation Army that's open late down the street from me. So.
Nice. Oh yes, I know which one you're talking
The
about.
one on Grand.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I wasn't really paying attention to that scene because nothing really. Did the priest have any eye-opening things to say to Scotty?
No, he's just like, the boy is evil. Kill him.
And Scotty's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I was really disappointed with his burn makeup. If he's a sole survivor of a church fire, I mean, it's like he looks like he's got got some hot water poured on his face or something.
Right.
But not even that, like spray steam burns. It's like
right.
Because then it reminded me of something, not to go off track, but it reminded me of these of working in record stores in the 90s.
When everybody had burnt faces.
Though there was a record. There was an evangelist from the 70s that was a burn victim. And when you open up, that's on the cover of the record. And I never took it home because it's just so disturbing. It's like, I kind of want the burn victim record, but I kind of don't.
Oh, let's not shame burn record victims.
He was a burn victim evangelist and using that as God help me walk through the fire. Yeah, it's really creepy stuff. But then when you open up the gatefold, it shows the accident he was in.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome, but it was one of those I should totally take this home. And it's or not. Do I really want
I feel
this?
like it'd be a little exploitive of his injury.
Which he was clearly doing himself, which makes it the whole
Right, he's
disturbing.
trying to make money off his... Well, I can't blame someone for trying to make money off their injury. But still... If you're going to have an injury, why not
So it made me think of that. So it's like, man, they could have done some better makeup.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, the priest was talking. I was like, oh, this guy. I don't care.
Yeah, he wasn't very engaging, especially, I've watched, from someone that's watched as much Catholic horror films as I have, it's like for a priest, you got to have a lot of you got to have some chutzpah. I mean,
yes,
this Catholic priest, because it's especially, the original Omen, that whole scene where he uncovers that Damien was born from a dog. There's that his mother was I want a priest like that whenever you have a Satan boy.
I think that's what bothered me about it is he was just like, oh, this guy sucks. There was no impassioned speech. It was just like, oh, this kid, he's Dennis the Menace +5.
Yeah. He didn't have any of that Donald Pleasance charisma, where Donald Pleasance is creepier than Michael Myers in those movies.
Thank you.
Dr. Loomis is so creepy. And everyone knows it.
Exactly. And yeah, I appreciate a creepy priest.
Yeah, that priest was just
Man.
hungover priest.
Yes, that's what it was. He was hungover priest. He needed some electrolytes and a Xanax, and he wasn't getting it.
Because he was buried in the blanket and had...
Yes, he was buried in the blanket. He barely put his head out, just his face was poking out of the blanket. He looked adorable.
It's because they didn't want to spend money on the burn makeup.
No, I get that. But he just had cocooned himself like it was a cold winter day and he wanted some soup.
Yeah.
No.
Give that priest some soup.
Give that guy some soup.
Give him some pea soup.
Fair. Okay, so Scotty leaves and he's in a taxi or something and Tony finally gets a hold of him and he's like, your son. They're having
I can't hear you, Tony.
What? I can't. No. And he's like, just hang up the phone. This is irritating.
Tony's all the drawings.
And he's like, yeah, he's a great drawer, right? I'm really proud of his art. Nope.
And then Tony goes to the tool shed to look for the Frisbee.
He was in the garage.
Secretly
No, he
called,
was
or
looking
garage.
for the picnic basket.
That's right.
And this scene is why I hate garages. Garages are gross and scary, full of spiders and tools that are dangerous, and I don't like it.
But that was one of the sweetest kills, though.
Bro, that was one of the sweetest kills. He
Yeah.
got like nailed by freaking lawnmower, two
First there's
drills.
a nail gun.
Oh, I forgot about the nail
Oh
gun.
no, it's like first there's a nail gun,
Uh-huh.
and then he falls down,
Mm-hmm.
and then the lawnmower comes after him, gets his hand.
Man, I like blinked and he's like straddling a lawnmower and his hands are like they showed a shot of a finger blowing away. It was so good. And then he gets up and he's like, "What's going on?" And he falls backwards and his head gets drilled by something behind him. Am I missing any?
No, I think he gets drilled in the back.
Oh, okay.
He like falls on a drill through his back,
Okay.
and then comes the table saw. Flies off of the table.
The table saw was the best because it just flew. It was just like there's no like connection to physics at all. It was just like, oh, and it like went straight for his face, didn't it?
Yeah. It cut his face in half. And did you notice how long he was screaming for having a fucking saw in his face?
Yes. That's why I wasn't sure if it was his face because I was like, why is he still screaming?
It cuts away and you still hear him screaming. I'm like, damn, that's gotta suck. Like how
I would think it would suck more to scream while that was happening instead of just shutting up and just like dying or whatever.
I mean, how do you even scream when you have a saw blade in your face, which your mouth is a part of?
And your tongue. I'm sure it's going straight through his tongue.
But that was an amazing kill.
That was beautiful.
I had to like rewind and slow to get the like order of things right. I had to rewind and go like, okay, first we got the nail gun. Like, literally, look at this kill. This is a piece of art.
It really was because it was multifaceted. It went everywhere you hate in a garage. Everything that is terrifying in a garage. The only thing they missed was a garage door coming down on his neck or something, which I'm fine with. That's fine. And then Scotty, he calls home and Lucy's like, "What, Tony?" Or wait, did he come home or call home? Whatever. He asks Lucy, "Where's Tony?" And she's like, "Oh, he's on a date." And I was like, man, if I was Scotty, I'd be like, bullshit. Women hate Tony.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like surprised. I was waiting for that. I was like, come on, just say it. We know that. It's all like, no, he's not on a date.
Right.
That's not gonna happen because the thing is also, you know, knowing Tony, it's like if Tony was having a date, he would have told Scotty for like 6 hours of how he was trying to get some.
6 hours every day until it happened. Yes, absolutely. So obviously Scotty's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, oh yeah, he was like, sorry about checking out your titties or whatever. She's like, oh, whatever. I was in the punk scene, so it wasn't sexual at all. It's just like we just walked around naked all the time.
That's like, what punk scene is that? Because I've seen plenty of punk scenes around this country, and that was never a part of any of them.
They're out there, but I feel like the writer was like, I want everyone to know how fucking cool I am. I'm going to make up this punk scene that I may or may not have been a part of. So you can think what you want, but you know I've seen titties. I assume. And so they go to bed, whatever. But then Tony was like researching demons and the number 666 on multiple Angel Fire websites.
Oh, those websites were great.
Like, I wonder if they made those just for the movie and they're like, I don't know, just put some red and black and some demons. It's fine.
No, I think, but no. See, I think they were their cool goth cousins websites, strictly because did you notice that there's just like paintings? If you look on the screens, it's all like artwork, gallery, paintings, drawings for sale. It's like so they were like someone's kids' websites or something, because they and also I was thinking about, this is what really dates the movie as being in the 2000s, because even that late, you'd still get a lot of movies where they have montages spending time on people staring at the internet.
Yes. Yes, because it was new.
Yeah.
Ish. New-ish.
Yeah. But it was just like, wow, they're doing this as late as 2006?
Yeah. I love it.
It's like, oh no, we were in like, I always love how they have some like fake, the fake Google searches. I forgot to write down the name of the search engine.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
It was like Gaggle or something.
No, I've seen that. I've seen Goggle or Gaggle or Giggle.
Ask Jesus.
This was like, it had some like fancy writing, like a really shitty fancy, like, cursive type font, but exciting cursive.
Oh,
Where it's just like web search. It's like,
I love the
or like
internet.
some just fake GeoCity shit.
I like to call it Angel Fire. So
I think it said Web City or something.
Oh yeah, so he's like, I'm so drunk and full of knowledge now. I'm gonna lay back and pass out on my chair. And then his wife comes in and she's like, I took an earlier flight and now I'm gonna give you a blowjob. And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, if that is Lucy putting a charm on him so he thinks it's his wife, I'm gonna be pissed. Guess who's right? It was me. I was right.
Yeah. Because that made the most sense, though. It made more sense than her coming back.
Yeah.
Because when she left, we didn't mention how when the wife left, it was like they're arguing. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving for 3 days. You're stuck with the kid. Bye."
Yeah, and that was weird. It was like a sitcom absence where they're like, "Oh, she can't be at the shoot for these days, so we have to write her out," because she was just not in the movie for like a good half an hour. It was weird.
At least, yeah. She didn't come back until the blowjob scene, which she was technically not there.
I mean, the actress was. I don't know if you're familiar with how movies are made, but it was actually that actress. And then they made it switch.
Wait. So Lucy didn't put on a rubber mask?
No. That was the actual actress that played the wife.
Weird.
I know. It's called Hollywood magic.
Weird. I don't. You mean Hollywood witchcraft?
I mean, come ça. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, so the next morning, Scotty's like, you get the fuck out of my house, or whatever he says. And he won't let her get her purse or whatever, makes her leave. And she's like, hey, guess what? I lied. I can't keep a secret. It's like, duh. We know that. You're evil. Shut up. And like the next scene, the next scene is the wife in a hotel room, and she gets the video of the blowjob because obviously it was all recorded on a webcam because that's what happens in life.
Well, they showed right after the scene, they zoomed to a picture of the cam from his computer, from his laptop.
And they made it look like it was his POV. Like he was like, oh yeah, it's recording. Like,
don't you maybe want to do something about that?
Yeah, but no, like I don't know if it was supposed to be his POV, but they made it look like it was his POV. And I was like, why are you just letting it record? You obviously think it's recording, just like grab it off your monitor because it's one of those old ones. So just like whatever, who cares?
And it's like, and also think about when it came out in the video you're showing of the erotic scene. It wasn't pixelated. It didn't look like shit from 2006. Those digital cameras around that time.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, those digital cameras that time, you wouldn't even be able to make out what's going on. What's this video? Is that someone's back? That's all you see. It's like, that's someone's back.
Is there a dog in that room? What's going on?
Is this, did someone butt dial me or something?
She gets that video in her hotel room, which, okay. And then and then the guy is like, or his secretary is like, hey, can you come like in 45 minutes to this meeting? Which I didn't unnecessary. I felt like that was a detail that nobody needed. Because maybe it's because she had to hurry up and get ready, so she went in the bathroom and puked, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, I love this kill too. She's like, "Oh, I'm so distraught," and stepped on a burnt ass Ken doll.
But what about the mirror first?
Oh yeah,
That's
what
why
did
she
that
stepped
say?
backward.
You're right. What did it say?
It
Like,
said,
don't...
it is written in blood, "Don't
Yes.
cry, mommy."
She's like, "What?" And then she stepped on a burnt up Ken doll like it was a bunch of Legos and not a soft Ken doll.
He had that doll at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He had it with him from the plane crash.
Oh.
That's why it was burned up.
Oh.
That's not the orphanage. I mean, it could have been either.
Right.
But yeah, he was carrying that at the very beginning of the movie.
Well, even if I had gotten that, I would not have cared.
But I'm glad that it just happened to be on the floor.
Yeah. And she she falls into the weakest shower door in the world, which apparently cuts her in half. I don't know. There was glass.
That was the laziest kill of the movie.
It was.
That was a really lazy. From all the good kills, that one was freaking lazy.
Yes. And also, that bathroom looked like it was in the basement of a warehouse. It did not look like a Patrick Swayze hotel.
No, that was not a Swayze hotel.
I meant to say swanky, but let's just go with swanky. I mean, God damn it, I said it right that time. Anyway.
It did not look like a hotel Dalton would be staying in after he rehabbed a bar or club. Especially the first club in Roadhouse. I almost said Outhouse.
Exactly. My point being is, still, regardless of the letdown of that kill, beautiful blood splatter.
And yes, that's yeah. I was rewatching and I was like, that's lazy ass kill, but nice work on the splatter, guys.
Mm?
And she was just kind of crumpled in the tub, like, it's like, well, how did she? What killed her? Like,
exactly. No, she just like fell and then she was dead.
Yeah, she like fell through the glass, and usually those glass doors are a little more less breakable.
Well said. They're also usually tempered, so they don't break in big chunks like that. So they like disintegrate in a bunch of tiny little pieces, so you can't be killed by falling on them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be nitpicky about that. It was just a boring kill.
Yeah, she just trips, falls backward, and it's like, that killed her?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I mean, I could see if you bash your head on the porcelain, that's one thing, but it just wasn't clear. It was just like,
they were very vague about it. Let's just say that.
It's just like, man, we're already running too long on the shooting schedule. It's like, but can we redo that? No.
We got it. Everyone gets it. It's blood, glass, people die.
She fell.
She's
dead. She fell. But nope.
But also, I have to assume that Lucy knew that was going to happen because she's in league with Satan or Donald or Damien or whatever.
Yeah.
Why did she need to send the sex tape then? Why was that even... Okay, devil's advocate, no pun intended. She had to be distraught in order to step on something. No, it doesn't. Like, he could have written something in blood on the mirror and she still would have been freaked out enough to die by glass.
Falling backwards. She didn't even need a toy to do that. I mean, it's a bathroom, wet floor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
It wasn't thought out like a Final Destination kill.
How good is that series?
I love it.
So good.
I freaking love it.
So, and that got me thinking, what did they do with Tony's body? Like, it's never really brought up after that, is it?
Did anyone even notice?
Why would they? It's fucking Tony. Who gives a shit?
And it's the garage, so it's like no one's going into the garage because even though they have all those tools, I don't feel that Scotty really does anything with tools.
Oh, hell no.
I mean,
He
it's
can't
probably
even-
the dad who's dead.
Right. He can't even put up a ceiling fan right.
No, he can't.
Fucking idiot.
No, Scotty's.
He
a
can't
doofus.
even make his own breakfast. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Scotty knows everyone's evil and he's fighting. He's trying to kill the kid and he's trying to like fight. And then Lucy shows up and he like grabs a poker and he stands there. What?
First, Lucy shoots him.
Okay. I don't remember.
That's
that.
what's so crazy. She shoots him and then he's on the ground and instead of like giving a final kill shot to the head because she has a gun,
Right.
she comes running at him with a knife.
Wait. But as she starts to run, he picks up a fireplace poker and like aims it towards her and just stands there.
Yes.
He stands there for a long time while she runs her fucking mouth into it. She saw it. It was there for quite a long time.
Because that was a long running scene.
It was. And
like,
it
what?
was not a surprise that was going to happen.
How much space was really in that room? Because
It was it was not a football field, but it was long enough to know that was ready for you to put your mouth inside of it and poke your brains out.
And yeah, it's like you already shot him. Just finish the job. Like, why do you gotta run at him with a knife? And he's got a fire poker waiting for you. You have a gun.
She was not paying attention.
Well, you know, she was on the punk scene, so she had to like she shot him and then like, well, that's not very punk. It'd be much more punk if I shanked him.
That's true. If I know anything about punks, they prefer stabbing.
Yeah, punk is stabby music for stabby people.
All right. So I guess they like wrestled out to the pool outside because they were inside before, I'm pretty sure. And he's like holding this 10-year-old down and he's like, I'm so sorry, I gotta shoot you. Which, you know, that's quite a quandary. Even if he wasn't your adopted son, I don't want to murder a fucking 10-year-old. However, the cop really saved him from that decision by shooting him right through the skull, which find it hard to believe that any cop has that great of aim, but that's just me.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait. Like, what were the cops doing? I guess they probably heard the first gunshot.
Yeah, that was my guess, because otherwise it makes no sense that they were there.
Because that was pretty quick. But they are in a rich neighborhood, though.
Very quick. Yeah, but even so, they had to have been around the fucking corner, and someone had to call it in exactly when
they're shooting a white guy abusing a non-white child. I'm not buying it. I was not buying. It was just like, that was all so quick. And he got the
I wrote in league with that. Oh shit, shot in the head by a cop. He's not even black. See?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
predictable. You cops are predictable. Except for in this movie where you shot a white guy in the head perfectly. Good job. But he was the innocent one, so once again. And then we find out that fake Martha Stewart has taken over the adoption of Donald. And once again, I have to express how much I hate the name Donald for this character.
They did call him Donnie a couple times.
Yeah, that's better, but Donald. It's all for you, Donald.
No, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, because it sounds gross.
That's probably, I bet you, for that line of The Omen, they probably chose the name because that sounded the coolest.
It really does. I could say that all the time.
It's all for you, Damien. I mean, that's like the greatest scene ever.
Seriously. everything about that scene is just perfection.
Yeah.
Anyway. So evil Martha Stewart is doing what I assume is a holiday Christmas praising Donald show, whatever. And my final thoughts on this movie is, damn, that is an actual ugly Christmas sweater.
See, I have my final thoughts on the movie are in line with yours. Different, but my last note is I'm glad he's making cookies. I mean, it looked like he was having fun. Like maybe he won't be an evil dickhead if he's just make some cookies.
Oh, so you didn't see that look he gave to the camera at the end shot? He's not peaceful.
No, I mean he has to. I mean that's just like a contract, though. If you're an evil child, you have to give that look at the end of the movie. It's like
he's gonna do like Bart did in that one Christmas episode where he turns all the Christmas trees into knives with blood at the end of them.
Yeah.
Because you can't take the evil away from the kid, but you can take the kid away from the... I don't know what I'm trying to say.
But he's baking cookies.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Travers. Would you have a different title that you might give this movie off the top of your head? I didn't think about this, by the way, so...
Wow. I mean, the thing is, the title itself pretty much tells you what it is, which is, 666, the child. It's like, oh, Omen knockoff.
Right. But also, what we did not mention at all, did you see the 666 in the movie?
Oh, yes.
Because it was like the worst ever.
I'm trying to remember, like, why? Oh, it was, he was wrestling the kid.
The kid was like attacking him and on top of him, and there were like still shots of the kid's mouth open.
Yes.
And it was just like cut back from like Scotty to the kid's open still shot of a mouth. And I was like, what's going on? Oh, you can see little tiny. And like, in the Omen, they tried to make the 666 look like it might be a naturally occurring birthmark.
Yeah.
This just looked like someone typed it on his tongue.
Yeah, that was like some bad like prison tattoo on his tongue. That's what that looked like.
All right, sorry, I digress. Do you have a better title for this movie?
Devil Asshole Kid.
All right, let me think if I can think of one, because I didn't think about this at all yet.
Yeah, I that's a good question. I had no thoughts on the title.
A kid, a nanny, and a pizza place. God damn it, I don't have anything. Remember that sitcom, A Guy, a Girl, and a Pizza Place?
That actually happened, didn't it?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds and someone else.
I thought it was... I was frightened because I thought it was like a spin-off of Mystic Pizza.
Oh,
which is another movie I hate, which I've never saw, but I saw the trailers all the time on TV when I was a kid, and I just decided I fucking hate that movie.
That movie is on all the fucking time, and every time it's on, Andy's like, "Ooh, Mystic Pizza." Fuck you, Andy.
Of course. But then he'll just talk about Connecticut pizza.
Oh my god! Yes. Oh, you know Andy?
You know that pizza's gonna suck because it's not in Connecticut. Unless the movie is based there. I don't know anything about that movie. I just hate it.
It might be. I don't know. There is an ocean somewhere near. Where's Mystic? Is it Mystic, California? You know what? Not important. Travers, I'm so sorry, and I'm so glad you could do this with me. Do you have anything that you want to promote?
I'll still promote the same album from last time, or same two albums. If you go to Gauntlet Music on Bandcamp, I have two albums out. One under the Gauntlet Music Orchestra, which is music for imaginary 90s TV shows.
Awesome.
And the other one is music for Alter State of Minds under the name of Cyborg Demon. And it's
Awesome.
Cyborg Demon Plays for Lovers.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you. And I will see you in a few weeks for something even worse.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Okay, bye.
Bye.